We are just over 1 week out from my first competition. Absolutely insane to think about, but I'm super excited. Gonna push super hard these last few days, give it everything that I have. Being just over 1 week out, this means that peak week is just around the corner. So today I thought that I'd go ahead and explain what peak week is exactly and what my plans are for the week surrounding water consumption, sodium intake, carb intake, training, pretty much everything about peak week that you would need to know or that's important. So first off, let's just go ahead and cover the basics of peak week. Talk about why peak week is actually important and what the reasoning behind it is. Simply put, peak week is the time frame before your competition, usually a week, hence the name peak week, which you manipulate many different factors to make sure that you look the absolute best that you possibly can on stage. You want all that hard work to pay off. And so this week really matters. If you do it right, you'll look great. If you do it wrong, you still might look okay, but you're just not gonna stand out. You wanna make sure that you're looking shredded while retaining plenty of size so that you can, beat out the others or just look the best that you possibly can look. To do this, there are many changes that need to be made to the diet over the week, such as going keto, cutting out water, decreasing sodium, carb loading, and the result is, like I said, the best, most shredded possible physique that you can achieve. Now, before I jump into, the specifics of my peak week personally, and what it's gonna look like, I think it's important to give a shout out to the one and only Greg Doucette. So much of what I've learned about bodybuilding, diet, you name it, it's come from his YouTube channel, super informational, a lot of good content. Definitely go check out his channel for the best possible fitness advice. But anyway, let's jump into the specifics about my peak week. To start off, let's go ahead and cover calories. So caloric intake is going down yet again, down to 1,300. Of course, it's gonna depend on how I'm looking, but based on my physique now, I think 1,300 is a safe call. It's not gonna kill me. It'll be miserable, but I think it's what needs to be done to bring the best physique possible. It's super low, it's not healthy, but it's not supposed to be healthy. Bodybuilding is not a healthy sport for the most part. People don't get that. You're trying to look the best you possibly can, not feel the best. So, it's not healthy. If you're not doing bodybuilding, don't do any of this crap. So for the most part, my diet was pretty steady throughout prep. I feel like I did a pretty good job of pacing myself. Unfortunately, I'm not currently where I was hoping to be. I'm not far off, but I'm not quite at that, phase that I'm looking for. So kind of at the end, I've had to crash diet a little bit, which I was trying to avoid, but I'm here now. It's gotta happen. There's no way around it. I didn't just spend the last 10 weeks for no reason. I'm gonna diet hard if that's what has to happen. But that's all right, lesson learned. Next time I compete, I'll make sure that I go a little bit more steady. Try not to get quite as fat in the off season like I did. As far as calories go, that's about it. 1,300 calories next week. Gonna be a good time. Tuesday is when the changes to my diet really kind of, start. From Tuesday to Thursday, I'll be cutting out carbs and going keto. This will put my body in a stage called ketosis, where fat is burned for energy instead of carbs. This will make me look, less full and really flat, but it'll give me that shredded look that I'm going for. My diet will of course be pretty boring because it'll be fats and protein. Things like avocados, eggs, beef, chicken will be the bulk of my diet from Tuesday to Thursday as I go keto. So not super fun, but it is very necessary for the peak week process. Water intake will be high during this time, but all the water will be going through me because I have no carbs to store the water. So I'll be drinking a crap ton of water. I'll be peeing a lot. But on Friday, that all changes. Friday is gonna be the day where I cut out water completely, drastically increase carbs. This is called carb loading. The reason for cutting out water, so we'll cover water first and then jump into carbs. The reason that you cut out water is because if you're carrying too much water, you'll look watery, which means you won't have as much definition, as you want. You won't be able to see the striations, vascularity. So you want to make sure that you have as little water in your body as possible. Again, not a healthy practice, but it is necessary. The increase in carbs will help suck up the remaining water in your muscles and give you the look of being full. and big, but you'll still look shredded because you'll be dehydrated. So as far as carbs go, it's also not, going to be healthy. I'll be eating a lot of rice cakes, oats, cereal, chocolate bars, anything to get carbs in. It's not supposed to be healthy, and it's not necessarily going to be fun either. Eating dry cereal, not going to be a super good time. But again, it's what has to happen. And it's just part of it. Let's talk sodium now. So sodium is another big factor on how you look on stage. So on Thursday and Friday, sodium will be relatively low. I'll still be eating regular foods, but I won't be seasoning it, using any sauce or anything, just because, those have a lot of sodium. If I'm trying to get dehydrated, that means that I don't want my sodium intake to be very high. So that's why I'm cutting out sodium, or majority of sodium that I can. But then on show day, I can add in a little bit more salt. The night before also, I can eat a little bit more sodium. So that's pretty much everything covering diet and, manipulating the intake of certain things to look a certain way. I know it was a lot in a little bit of time, but I didn't just want to ramble. I just wanted to get straight to the facts. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about cardio and training overall. So as far as cardio goes, I can't give you an exact time, how much cardio I'm going to be doing over the course of peak week, or if I'll be doing cardio at all. Again, it all kind of depends on, how I'm looking currently. So it's Thursday today, Thursday before the peak week. So, probably Saturday, Sunday, I'll be able to get a better idea of how much cardio I need to do, or if I need to do cardio. I'm still doing cardio right now. I'm thinking there most likely will be some though, just elliptical, walking on the treadmill. I skate and walk everywhere, so that'll still be there. So there will still be some cardio involved, but I can't give you an exact, number. And also it's not going to be crazy intense, similar to what I'm doing right now, which is, of course, I'm still putting effort into it, but it's not like I'm trying to run a marathon. I'm not trying to, run a sub-2 marathon like Eliud Kipchoge. Just, trying to burn some calories, burn some fat, nothing too crazy. As far as like training and lifting goes, it'll be very similar to what I'm doing right now and what I've been doing for the majority of prep. So, the same old push-pull legs. The rep range is going to be higher than usual. The lower the reps and the heavier the weight, the more likely you are to injure yourself. In peak week, there's no reason to lift heavy. If you're lifting heavy and you're doing anything less than 10 reps, you're just stupid. Like straight up, you're just stupid. There's no reason to do that. You're not going to pack on muscle in peak week. All you're trying to do is, of course, maintain muscle mass, but also retain that mind-muscle connection so that you can, do well in your posing. You're not trying to build muscle. You're not trying to get stronger. If you're doing anything less than 10 reps and you're lifting heavy, you're stupid. Don't do that. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing, probably 10 to 15 rep range for everything. And I'm not going to be going to failure. I'll of course be pushing hard, pushing intense, but most of my workouts will be pump workouts. Really just trying to, feel the muscle, get those contractions. I'm not trying to kill myself, but that pretty much covers everything. I'm super excited for the competition, really excited for training next week. It'll be rough because, I'll be super depleted of everything. But it should be a good time. Hoping for a lot of changes. A lot of progress made. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Help me hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I appreciate you guys watching and supporting the channel, and continue to watch. I'm going to be posting more videos throughout the next few weeks that should be very good. So that about covers it. See you next time.